Welcome back. In this video I will be making a honey jar with a wooden lid and dipper. Watch or skip to the end to see how I fixed a lid that I messed up. I begin by cutting a blank 1.5 by 4 by 4 inches. I then round off the corners on the bandsaw and then chucking it up on the lathe to cut it into a circle. Next, I turn a tenon so I can mount it to the chuck to form the inside of the lid. Then I remove the headstock spindle and mount the chuck to hold the blank. Here, I square up the blank. I then use the jar ring to mark the inner cut and begin to hollow it out. I use the parting tool with a piece of tape on it to begin the cut at the proper depth. Then I continue to hollow out enough for the ring to fit, but I leave the center for mounting the dipper, which I will make after the lid is formed. I stop from time to time to make sure the ring will fit, and making sure not to take too much to avoid getting too loose of a fit. I cut just enough of the edge to make room for the lip on the ring. Before I shape the outside, I sand the inside, running through the grits for a smooth finish. I then cut the outside down to thin the wall of the lid, being careful not to make it too thin to avoid cracking. I sand the outside to a smooth finish, and then apply a butcher block oil with mineral oil and beeswax before turning the lid around in the chuck and cutting the top. Here I put a dimple in the center, so I can drill a hole for the dipper later. Turning the blank around, I have to be extremely careful not to apply too much pressure to avoid cracking the lid, while making it tight enough to hold it for turning. I use the jar ring to mark the thickness of the lid, to avoid going through the top. When I get this lid finished, I will show how I repaired one that I cut so thin it ended up with holes in it. The chuck loosens from time to time and I have to snug it up again. I round over the corner a little. There is never a shortage of sanding. I finish it off with more oil. I use hot glue to attach the ring to the lid. After getting the lid finished, I cut a 1x1 by 7-inch blank to turn the dipper. I start by using the roughing gouge to round off the corners. I then start shaping the dipper end with a spindle gouge. Before I cut the handle of the dipper, I use the parting tool to cut grooves for pulling out the honey for drizzling. I then nibble away at the handle with the spindle gouge, cutting it down to about a 1/4 inch. I go a little at a time to keep from breaking it as I work my way to about a 5-inch handle. I sand what I've shaped so far while it is still strong enough to apply sanding pressure without breaking it. Now that I'm satisfied with the shape, I part it on the dipping end. I then use the bandsaw to cut it to the final length. I use masking tape to wrap around the handle of the dipper so I can chuck it in the drill to finish sanding the end of it. I set the depth stop on the drill press and drill the hole in the lid to attach the dipper to it. After gluing the dipper into the lid, I dip it into mineral oil to finish it off. And there it is. And now I will repair the lid I cut too thin. You can see the holes in it here. I start by sanding off the top, which will also separate the center from the lid that I will reattach to the repair. Here I finish cleaning up the center. Just for the fun of it, I decided to use maple to make the top. I traced the shape of the lid to the maple and rough cut it on the bandsaw. Then I glue the blank to a piece of scrap so I can resaw it thinner. I then glue the maple to the ring. After letting the glue dry, I chuck it to the lathe and shape it. Again, I sand it and oil it. I forgot to video, but I used the laser engraver to add graphics and attach the dipper. I think it turned out pretty cool. I may have to make more. It turned out to be a happy accident. Feel free to like and leave a comment.